Here I am weighing in on the 2 week event. You know, the sky is still blue for the EPA, and the air quality is amazing. There's still a manhunt, man sought after firing gun towards group. I believe this happened 2 weeks ago, and there are no cadavers. You know, hey Lancer 89, I'm gonna just read out your names. Thank you for joining in. We're following up because this is trending. And the opinions of the Bronx in this particular area regarding man sought after firing gun towards group. I mean, like you can see, this is the concourse, and oh no, it's Ro. Hi Ro, how you doing? You know, most times, if not all, like you just enter the chat to see what's going on. And Jersey City user, I used to live in Jersey City. As you can see, the tarmac is great. You can land an airplane here, or a helicopter in the median. But here, according to the incident report, hi Jersey City user 1652, there's a man sought after, and it's trending on all over Citizen app, after firing a gun towards the group. Now, I'm not sure what the make and model of the gun, but it's probably not over. A single man shooting at a group probably implies some sort of warfare thing. This might become military, hopefully not. It's definitely monetary. Monetary events is just like involving transactions. There's great money in making sure nothing happens in your neighborhood. So, the more you report that nothing's going on, it's somebody else's problem. That's what I'm doing, this coverage. And you're part of all this great social experiment. The more of you questions you ask, the more legitimacy you give me, not a sale. And Kenya Leos 01 is helping. Is it over yet? That question we're all wondering. Is life over yet as we know it? Philosophically, no. Tomorrow you still have work. Tomorrow the EMS will still have work. Tomorrow Citizen app will still be working. It's uptime. So investigations are still ongoing. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not even remotely. I'm just a Citizen zapper, just a guy like you wondering why there's a trending man sought after firing gun towards a group. And so, even if the world spins, this is my coverage. As far as I know, there are no crimes happening here outside of my camera and my control. I guess there are crimes, but I'm happy to report, in this spectrum, where I am, centered around me, it's pretty goddamn quiet, You can curse all you want in here. You guys want to talk Trump? Talk Trump. You guys want to talk Newark or the ICE detention? Feel free. This is your chat. I only do these incidents, one, to help out supplemental footage, but also to give you guys a place where you have a voice. Things you want to talk about. Better here in my chat where it's like sterile than actually in your house or with your family, and then you start like pulling a gun and shooting them. Earlier I reported an incident of a female being threatened with a gun, and then that person threatening the woman with a gun is a family matter, went into the subway to cool off. So this chat is where you can talk, just like a constitutional convention. Now I'm gonna catch me up. Damn, thanks for all the coverage so far. Apparently I covered this 2 weeks ago. There was a man on this corner, and I remember making those comments, who shot into a group of people. This happened 2 weeks ago. So one of the things, landlords, property owners, is this the kind of thing that happens? And you want to document the fact that it's been handled. The first responders, while they haven't had any progress, it's still trending. People are worried again. It's just like election years. Do we need to replace the leadership? At this time, no. That's my position. That's all my opening arguments. You guys can rebut. If you want to go to John Jay and pay a lot of money for criminology, you got to have that head on your shoulders. But if you don't, if you want to avoid capture by all the police, well, you got to learn surveillance too. Like, are they following me? Am I not important enough as a criminal? And most likely, no. There's this guy I follow on YouTube. It's like he reported, I have all this footage. Yeah, a detective will reach out to you. They're not interested in that. What they're currently interested is like improvised weapons, cash is hiding in your basement or something. Don't do that. That's my official stance. Unofficially, if you're not being noticed, maybe you should give up crime. You know? I watched some Netflix stuff where it's like, if you've been selling weed for 50 years but haven't done cocaine, maybe you're not a salesman. You know? Improve your product at least. Or just like my time selling weed for 50 years. Write a book. You know? Consider the ants. So, you know, this is on a part of my, get like a daily quest. If you play, I play WoW. I have to get Community Legend by the 2nd day of June. And that's a bird. That's a sparrow. So, I'm confused. Guys, talk it up, man. Like, how's Brooklyn? How's Jersey City? How's the Newark thing? How's the ICE facilities? You know? That's our boys in blue. Like, doing a budget. Precinct 46. There may be. That's TD11 based in Yankee Stadium. At 161, the nominal capital of the Bronx, you know. So of course, transit division. Took me a month or a lot of time to figure that out. But here on the concourse, you get to see cars rushing. I'm not fast enough to do that, but there's more. You know, the 52nd precinct is here. So I found that instead of chasing the story, you become the story, and then they'll chase you. Just like girls, Valentine's Day is coming up. This is the 3rd cruiser I've seen today. Just sitting here talking with you, like commenting on a beautiful sky. So, you know, if you're a person of interest, like, you know, crimes happen around you, make sure you do no crimes. Like, buck the trend, you know? If I was some sort of, like, German war criminal from the Nazis or something, I would tell you. But then, you know, my job here is to lessen the impact. Let's suppose I'm Adolf Hitler, right? And I didn't do so good in the history books. And I was given a second chance by God. And God said, try this in a weak body. Somebody 5'4", third world minority. You're not in charge anymore. This is the only thing I can do, guys. Like, I caused a lot of crime. Now I'm going to cause less. You know, I'm going to invite you to have excellence in your life. So far, the law enforcement is getting, like, good. If you see the state police in Jersey, like, you know, basically if you see a frog facing against an insect, they'll and then they hide behind the shields, and then you can't rush them. And then the most you can do is like, hey, he was just talking, man. Well, yeah, but in the wrong place. So how does this relate to man sought after firing gun towards group? It's a long sentence. It's about, It's very sexy as a headline, let's say. But it needs to be a little bit more compressed. If you want in German, I'm going to teach you guys German real quick. In German, you only need 2 phrases, okay? And it's like, if you approve of something, ja gut. If you disapprove of something, Achtung, right? Ja gut means like, you know, you're going to challenge somebody who speaks better German than you, and it's like, it's not good. All of that's garbage. It's swine. And then you just nod and say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Or like, you know, Spanish. It's like, muy bueno. No después. No se puede. No es bueno. What do you know? Right? And then Achtung is like, when you're, let's say in Spanish again, if your little cousin is like, you know, talking up the storm to the police, you say, peligro. That means like, shut up or something. You're talking too much. Those are the only 2 phrases. Basically, yes, good in English, danger. That's how you learn languages. I have my own language, like, you know. But with the EPA money, they're really interested in making sure, like, there's no acid rain, there's no smoke, the air quality is good on the iPhone. And I'm just inviting all of you to document that with me. If a crime happens while you're documenting the EPA stuff, bonus. Okay? That's how you attract good attention. So you can say, is it starting yet? You know? Someone fill me in. I'm trying my best. Okay? I don't want to be part of a group where a man shoots a gun at me and I happen to be a bystander. That would suck. It's not that I'm saying I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of pain. I have 2 broken knees right here. 1, 2. That, you know, still hurts because I fell down some stairs and my head's a little busted up. But while I'm injured, I want to be helpful, because helpful people become dangerous, you know. But again, if you're looking to make an all-new crime, they beat you to it. Find out what you can do. Get arrested for it, slap on the wrist, first offense, judge. You stole what? I was trying to raise worms in my apartment. You know that's illegal, right? Yeah, but then they had a stampede and they ruined everything. You know, like watch Night Court or something. And the judge will be so tired of you, it'll be like, you know what, you can just go home. You know? He knows you're suffering, the judge is. There have been odd, rare cases where like, oh, all you want to do is record the Grand Concourse. That's got to be the most retarded thing of all time. So far, today. What's even more retarded is like, let's say me protesting the government and sleeping there and causing all of your traffic and you to be late at work for 2 hours. That's retarded. Okay? Do not interfere with the government or the police unless you're heavily trained and you have like bond money and medical money, insurance money, in case they decide to, like, you know, like let's say, hey assholes, I don't like the government. Gone. Where's that guy? He's not talking no more. You know, do I have to put him back in again? Okay, don't be that guy. Also, look at these beautiful dogs. Who's the cutest dogs of all time? Hey boss. Yeah buddy, be like that, you know. Hi, can I? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Who's the cutie? Boss, thank you so much. Anyway, so you get that, you know. Now, you guys have the transcript of what I said. Sometimes God rewards me with dogs. Usually I'm thinking K9's gonna eat my face, and I accepted this. It's like, who's the cutest dog that is gonna eat my face all the time? You look like it, you know? And you get to meet a lot of handlers too. Again, most times I've been recording this in Times Square. A Russian couple got their purse stolen, and the Russian man was very like, you know, yeah, I'm a visitor, I'm a tourist, you don't know who I am, you know. And the New York police are like, well, New York does have crime, and you can afford another purse. I don't know if you can afford another wife, let's say. They'll just straight up ominous menace you.